everyone. This is a bit of business. My name is John Fitzgerald, and on behalf of learmedia.tv and the British and Irish Trading Alliance, welcome to the show. Leadership. We all know it when we see it, and we all certainly feel it when we don't see it. Look closely at any genuinely successful organization, and it's highly likely that there is or was a well-respected leader who set the tone for the company, cared about their people, and shared an inspiring vision of where that company was going and how it would get there. So, is leadership a science or an art, or perhaps a bit of both? My special guests today are well placed to help us unpack this important topic that is now more relevant than ever. Both are active BITA members and also general sponsors of various BITA events. Jacqui O'Donovan and Lyndsey Gallagher, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, John.
So quick introductions for you both. Jacqui has achieved huge recognition as a business leader and disruptor in the waste and construction sectors. At the age of 19, she became managing director of O'Donovan Waste Disposal based in Tottenham in London after restructuring the business to continue the legacy of her late father, Joe, who founded the business in 1959. Jacqui is a passionate advocate for improved training and education for employees, and she has championed improved standards across all areas of waste, construction, and demolition, resulting in cleaner, safer, and more responsible operations. Jacqui has excelled at growing the business into a £20 million venture, while the 12-strong workforce of 1988 has now expanded to almost 200 people. Lyndsey is the COO of Gallagher Group, one of the southeast of England's most successful privately owned businesses, established by her father, Pat, almost 50 years ago. She is a respected and decisive leader and a great believer in philanthropy. Lyndsey is also a welfare officer and deputy chair of the Lighthouse Construction Industry Charity. She knows the importance of being part of an established family business, and working alongside her father and her siblings, she is dedicated to upholding the company's family brand values, which are at the heart of the company. So, ladies, right, time for a few questions. Let's start with you on this, Jacqui, and then go to Lyndsey. So how would you describe your leadership style, and where did it come from?
It came from me. I've had no business training as such, so I left school at 16 and hit the ground running, as they say. I am inclusive, direct. I think every day should be a school day. I would never turn around and say that I know it all, and I wouldn't. Anybody that did say that to me, I would correct them, I think. I think it's important to listen. It's important to debate. So, yeah.
And Lyndsey?
So I actually asked my staff this question in a little survey a couple of weeks ago, and they said I'm authentic, driven, passionate, too much energy sometimes, and I'm a real team player. So that was the key ones that came out. I think I get my care and passion and compassion for people from probably my mum, and my drive and energy probably from my dad. So yeah, that's me.
So I think that there are lots of qualities that make someone a great leader. So what do you think are the three most important qualities, Jacqui?
Passion. You've got to have a passion for it, or you just would never succeed in business if you didn't have a passion. So passion's definitely one. Honesty. I think you need to be honest. I think you need to be able to carry out your job look after your staff and do what you do best and be able to sleep at night. I think that's really important. And caring, I suppose, yeah. Having a sympathetic ear when required and listening to the voices of people so they feel inclusive, yeah.
What about you, Lyndsey? What do you think
Just used all my three.
Oh, did I?
I would probably agree. I would probably say passion. If you haven't got it, you can't lead anyone. I'd say you've got to have vision as well. You've got to be able to carry people on your journey. And if you don't have vision, they won't know where they're going. I think a key one also for leaders is vulnerability. Show your vulnerability. And I think that comes out in different ways, whether it's like listening, whether it's caring, different, you know. And I think they're my ones. And also passion for people. You can't be a leader if you've got no one following you. So you've got to bring your people with you. Look after your people, and they'll look after you. So that's probably my ones.
There's a lot of common sense there, ladies, but you know what they say about common sense.
It's not
that
common.
And
for sure.
So let me talk about breaking the mold and the role of female leaders in construction. So Jacky, what positive change have you seen in the sector over the last 20 years in this area? And what change would you like to see in the next 10 years in relation to female leadership?
I think my overall view about female leadership is that the women need to have confidence in themselves. When I go to speak or do a webinar or anything like that, I am bombarded with women that feel that they shouldn't be in the positions they're in, which I think is quite sad, that they need to gain that confidence. I was on one recently and the lady said to me, I hate that word, male-dominated industry. And I said, predominantly men or predominantly male. And she went, oh yeah, that's much better. But I think in another couple of decades that saying won't even exist because it's a transition. You know, back in our parents' days, it was the role of the mother to stay at home, cook, clean, and bring up the kids. So for another few decades, there is going to be male-dominated industries until the women catch up.
Female-dominated industries.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
It does go both ways. But yeah, I think women need to have more confidence in themselves, and I'd like to see. You see women starting, you see women at the top. You don't see many in the middle. So I'd like to see the middle void filled, and I would like to see the women at the top coming out, beating their chests a little bit more to spread the word. You know, it's fine for me and Lyndsey here. We go out and do what we can to promote, you know, females can work in this industry. But I think there's more high profile women out there that need to come out and beat that drum roll as well.
Lyndsey, what do you think? What have you seen on the positive side over the last 20 years, and what would you like to see moving forward?
Crikey, there's lots of positives in the construction industry. I think as an industry, we're really going in the right direction. I think females should promote other females and buddy up and like Jacky said, so most women and most men, I think, is coming out now suffering imposter syndrome. And I think we've got to look at facts. What are we good at? What can we do differently? The way we think is different to men, so diversity on a board. But that's not just gender diversity, that's whether someone's, you know, come up through the ranks. So diversity as a whole needs to be embraced a bit more, not just have you got 10 women, you know, sitting at middle management. What I don't want to happen is that we become a tick box exercise. And that's maybe like, but that's where women need to know our worth. And that's where, and maybe we need to, and that's where other female leaders offering our time to mentor or help another young lady come up through the ranks and give her the confidence, and it's all evidence-based. So tell me, you know, what have you achieved? I've done this, I've done that, you know, that's evidence. Don't worry about unconscious bias, that's evidence. So that's where we need to coach each other and you know, champion other ladies. So.
And Jacqui, you just received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Worshipful Company of Carmen in London. Lyndsey,
You're
you were
so
just
young.
Yeah,
A lifetime.
you have to do it over 2 decades. Yeah, I've got to add, John, I'm the first one to get it, still working. So just.
Will you get one for another 20 years?
Well, when I retire, maybe I get the retirement award. But I just want to get that out there. I am the first to get it. That's
You're
still
probably the
working.
youngest, are you?
I probably must be,
You
yeah,
probably
because
are.
well, normally it's a retirement award. So yeah, it was.
We need to Google it and find out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get the sense that you're likely to retire anytime soon, Jacqui, which enhances the credibility of the award even further. So wonderful stuff. And Lyndsey, you were awarded the Freedom of the City of London. So many congratulations to you
Thank
both.
you.
Clearly, you're being rightly recognized for your contributions to industry and also to the communities in which you operate. So in addition to these wonderful accolades, what are you most proud of as a leader? And what are you working on right now as a leader for your own personal development? Jacqui, maybe you first.
Gosh. Right, ask me the first one again.
What are you most,
Answers.
what are you most proud of as a leader in addition to this wonderful accolade?
My staff. My staff are my biggest asset, and the longevity. You know, I've got staff that are there for donkey's years, you know, double digits. And I love that when someone comes to a job interview that I can say, oh, he's here 15, she's here 20, he's here 25, he's here, you know, one's there 23 because he knows, because his daughter was born the week he joined us. And that is what I'm most proud of, that although there's quite a number of us, we've still managed to keep that family ethos going. And you know, I don't sit in an ivory tower with door shut. I am accessible. I'm out. I've got.
I bet they wish you did sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I
Yeah.
bet they'd say, shut the door, she's laughing.
Yeah, when I do put the boots on, they do tend to scurry away. But yeah, that's what I'm most proud of. And the second question was?
What are you working on personally as a leader?
Personally, I'm passionate about training. I really am passionate about training. So I'm looking at how I can enhance the training for the staff, no matter what level they're at, whether they're waste handlers or directors within the company. And I do need a holiday. My best idea is when I'm on a Sunlander under an umbrella, which has been probably 3 years, if not 4. So yeah, start my training. Yeah, my training is really important to me.
Same question to you, Lyndsey, in addition to this wonderful accolade.
It's our people. Without our people and our teams, we haven't got anything. I think we've got 4th generation working in our business at the moment.
Wow.
And I mean, our long service, we've got a young chap, and I still think of him as very young, and he is, bless him, but he's been with us sort of 34 years, and it's just incredible. So it has to be our people. We are only here because of our people. And again, our family values, I think we did a lot of work as a family 4 years ago to really look at our values and where do we want our business to go. And you know, and we were so clear about our values, and it's about people and what we do and how we treat people, and you know, and I think that really resonates through the business. So we've relaunched that. We've relaunched all our training, and I think it's made us closer. Even though we've probably doubled in turnover, it's made us all closer. We're very clear. So during COVID, we made all our decisions using our values. Was that the right way to do it? And it was, and you know, we've come out better. We've got closer relationships. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think there's a real massive difference to working in a blue chip corporation to working in a family business, and that's really evident if you interview someone coming from a corporate background. They usually have the gold medal for the hide and go seek champion with them. And I think in the family business,
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, there is nowhere to hide. And, you know, when we interview, I do say there is nowhere to hide, you know, because at the end of the day, if I have to get an invoice out because a client wants a copy and the girl's off sick, I'm out scanning the invoice for the client, because that's what, if the phone rings, I'll answer it. And I think because we do what we do so naturally, and we're not all, we just sit here and file our nails and look pretty. We actually get stuck in and stick boots on and get down on site and get in with them. I think that they have a greater respect for us as family businesses.
And I think that,
yeah.
I think that tenure of your employees is a direct result of the environment and the culture that you've created as leaders within your organizations. And people will stay because the leadership is something that they respect and look up to and are inspired by. So you're sort of living and breathing your values every single day. And it's reflected in the fact that people stay in your organizations.
I think our teams also realise that because we are approachable, because we are out on site, people do come and talk to us. And that they know we will sort things out.
Yeah,
if there's an issue,
if they cock up, they know that it's best to put your hands up and let's all get together and sort it out, rather than try and hide it and then it just multiplies by 10. So I think that is another testament.
Or if they're worried about something or someone, they come and approach us, and I think they feel part of the family as well. Yeah. So they're very. They are. I think our staff.
But they would quite openly, if they were having maritals or anything like that, quite openly say that, look, take a notice of me today. I'm going to be a bit slow because X, Y, and Z, and they would have no issue in saying that. They wouldn't be in fear to say those sort of things, which I think is very important in the workplace, that staff are able to say freely what they need to say, and be part of a team is really, and to feel supported by that team.
I think that empathy and compassion is a huge credit to your organizations, where you are willing to listen, understand, and support, because that creates a wonderful cocoon around employees. And again, it's why people stay in organizations, because they feel safe and trusted, and the leader has their back. But you touched on the family business here, and I have to ask this question because you're both in and run organizations that you have family members in there. So what are the pros and cons of this? And
how long have you got? I'm only joking.
This could be the next best-selling book.
Well, just at a high level, Jacqui.
It could be Blackpool tonight for the family.
At a high level, Jacqui, maybe just the pros and cons of this, because it is very interesting.
Yeah, I've got some, the youngest of 4. But yeah, we have no, we're 34, 35 years this year, working together, and I'm not going to say we've never had a crossword. Of course I have, but it's a 2-minute thing. It's what did you do that for? Beep beep, and then it's gone. It's over. So I think the fact that we lost Dad so young, I think that put a certain glue on us that we didn't really see. But we not only do we work together now today, still, we actually live within 5 minutes of each other, and we socialise together. We
have our best nights out together.
Yeah. They're I don't know. I think the trick is that we all know our strengths and weakness
and roles.
Yeah.
You're all clear on what you do.
So and with the strengths and weaknesses, we stay in our rail, in our lines, and then it all works. And then when something happens like COVID, they all stand in front of me and go, what do we do? Beep. So yeah.
Lyndsey, same question to you. The pros and cons of leading in a family business
Um,
with your siblings?
Oh, with my siblings. Well, I think we did a lot of work years ago on what are you good at? My brothers, my sister doesn't work in the business, she's a teacher, but my two brothers work in the business. I can't do what they can do, and they probably never want to do what I do. So it's clear, what are you good at? What do you like doing also? Because we work long hours. So we're, I was in the office till 9:15 last night, up at 5. It's too long a day if you don't like what you're doing. So the good thing is we get to choose. I like doing that. That's my role. And then the stuff you don't like doing, give it to someone else that does love doing it. So I think and also we've all got a shared purpose. So we all like growing up with a family business. It's like having a sibling, another sibling. So our business is our sister, or we call ours, the sister that's always there. So we've got to treat the business right. The business looks after us all very well and looks after 500 staff all very well, so we've all, and I think the challenges we find probably that we're guardians and we've got a responsibility, so sometimes that can be heavy on us, and the decisions we make affect a lot of people. So I think, but I think if you're all clear on what you do, what you're good at, you enjoy work, and you've got a shared purpose and a shared vision of what you want, then you'll be fine. But like any family, so the difference is with a normal family, they probably meet up once a month and have Sunday dinner. The business is everywhere, isn't it? It's at every dinner, it's at every breakfast, it's at, I take Dad on holiday now since Mum's passed away, and my husband said, Jesus Christ, it's like a board meeting every day with you two. And it's true, the two of us are sitting by the pool and my husband will go off jet skiing or something, because me and PG are there, doing our business plan and right, this is what we're going to do. And like you say, your best ideas do come when you're away from your day to day, but we never, and the challenge of a family business that I don't think people realise is that, the risk, the sheer amount of worry and concern that we have. We don't work for a blue chip that turns up and goes home at the weekends. It's 24/7. If it's raining in the morning, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, our poor guys are out on site. That's the first thing I see when I see rain. If it's cold, if it's scorching hot, it's so different, and it never leaves.
I can imagine that your dad is extremely proud when he sees them in action.
Sees us in action?
Yeah.
I think he wants to kill us most of the time, but yeah, no, he is. I think.
Well,
I think he feels great. He set the business up on his own, and I think he's happy now that as siblings we've got support. Like you do in your business, he had no one. If there was a recession coming, he had no one to say, "Shit, what are we going to do?" Yeah. Sorry, I swore, John. Sorry, everyone. So at least we've got each other. At least if I'm lying awake at night, I know that my siblings are probably lying awake because they're as worried as I am about COVID or a recession or something, something bad's happened. So at least having a few more in the tribe.
But it really comes across, this family ethos, and your thinking around the business is family orientated, and it bleeds through everything that you do, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So I'm conscious of the time, ladies. So my last question to you today.
Well, you bored of us, John?
No, I'm not. Not at all. In fact, we could go on for quite a while, I'm guessing. But my last question is, what tips do you have for all the female leaders out there who are pushing hard to progress their careers in what has been, in the past, less than favorable environment for them to succeed in? What are your top tips?
Believe in themselves.
Know your worth.
Yeah. Don't doubt yourself. Go with your gut. The amount of times I've ignored my gut instinct, so I wouldn't do it now.
I think also reach out and find someone. There is so many of us out there that give up our time. We mentor, and when I say mentor, it doesn't have to be a formal. It could be, can we have a phone call once a month? Can we meet for a coffee once every 6 months? Can I just pick your brains on this, or I'm struggling with that? Getting a good coach, business coach, and there's some excellent ones out there, but I think really know your worth. And so I really struggled, because I think people look at me, and I was sitting at a dinner one night, and this chap sat there, and he probably thought, oh, the guy beside me was my husband. And when I was chatting, he said, oh, so you obviously got your job because of your father then. And I worry that everyone looks at me and thinks, well, she's only in her job because of her name. And then I said, well, actually, no, I've got a first class honours degree in construction, and I worked. And as soon as I say, oh, I worked at Laing O'Rourke for years, everyone goes, oh, God, you must know what you're talking about. So it's very different now. But we all have our own little gremlins somewhere in us. I have mine. Jackie hasn't got too many, but she has got one or two, I'd say. But reach out to someone, and there's lots of female leaders out there that will help or coach or encourage you, but know your worth.
Yeah, and I think on the female leadership and the mentoring, over the years I've mentored a few women, but when people come up and ask me, and I said, oh, here's my card, give me a ring, don't worry about it, and they're like, really? So I don't know why they're so reluctant to jump in head first and get stuck in. If that's their passion and that's what they want their livelihood to be, well, get up, girl, and go and get it. It's not going to come to them. So and ask whatever. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Ask whatever you need to ask. And I think people are often made to feel that there are stupid questions. There's no stupid questions. I know for a fact, John, when I asked you about that blue brandy glass behind you, that the reason you're trying to get rid of me and Lyndsey is that you're going to fill it up with brandy because we're too much for you. But, we know that.
We've got gin and tonics, John.
Very good.
In mugs.
But,
very good. Well, look, let's leave it there. And many thanks for your very insightful inputs. Lots for our audience to ponder, process, and consider on this hugely relevant subject that is so pertinent in these challenging times for business. So we all certainly appreciate you taking the time to join us today. So,
John, just sorry to interrupt. I was in a car with a managing director of a £600 million business last week, and we were talking about females in construction, and she's an engineer by trade. And I said, oh, I suffer. I always sit there and think, oh, I can't do this, about imposter syndrome. And she said to me, I may give it a go, girl. And I thought, bloody hell. So I think any advice to any young girls out there, give it a go. Like Jackie said, ask the question. I'm dyslexic, and at every meeting I go to now, I say, I'm dyslexic, because I go to a lot of supply chain events with males saying, here's the pen, you can do all the notes. And that used to, I wouldn't be creative at all in those meetings. And now I say, I can't, gents, but show your vulnerabilities, just, and ask questions. There is no, because I guarantee there's probably 10 other people in that room going, oh, thank God she asked that. Yeah. And that's something that I didn't do for years. And also look at Brené Brown on TED Talks. Be brave.
Yes.
So
yes, that is well worth a look.
Give it a go, girls. What's the worst that can happen?
Roll the dice, take your chance. Great advice there, Lyndsey. So thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been A Bit of Business. My name is John Fitzgerald. Thank you all so much for watching. All the best for now.